From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death guard marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin and pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death guard comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death guard marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death guard comes, none can stay. Armored and filled with rusted blades, they laugh as cities wilt and fade. Where they tread, no life remains. Just hollow corpses, plague remains. Beneath the helm, the cursed grin, for in death they shall begin. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death guard comes, none can stay. Beneath the warp the souls are bound. To spread decay, to break the ground. Nurgle's gifts a putrid stain. A future where only disease remains. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death guard comes, none can stay. The rot spreads, there's no escape. The death guard seals your fate.
And there we go. Take it away, Mr. Will.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Discuss Resilient podcast. I suppose continuing with the duos this week, me and Aiden. Big thanks to Zito last week as well for standing in when me and Dave weren't able to get there. But we've got back this week. Me and Aiden, we've got a few topics to discuss. I mean, how have you been, Aiden? I know you've done a couple of videos since last Tuesday. Have you been busy with much? I know you're practicing for a teams event coming up. You were saying?
Yeah, so I've been practicing for a teams event. It's something I want to talk about today because it's been on a different format, terrain format, which I never played on WTC before. Like UK, it's not very big in England, as I'm sure you're aware. It's normally like UKTC or like Glasshammer terrain I've played on, or a few little GW, but never WTC. So different beast entirely. So we'll probably get into that in a bit. But yeah, definitely different beast. Part of that, I have been painting up a Death Guard Demon Prince of On Foot Demon Prince.
Nice.
I'm just hoping it gets a glow up because the Emperor's Children one looks pretty damn good. If you get like blown up and stuff, it could be fun. And I didn't have a new Demon Prince model, and you know what? It's a really cool model. So I've been working on that. So I've been happy on that. And then yesterday I went and took my Votan actually out for a spin.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I took him to a local club. I've not played them. Like they're all painted in orange and stuff. I was like, Nat made a good point to me because I was like, damn, I want a third army, and she was like, Aiden, you don't even play your second army. I was like, okay, valid point. So I immediately went and corrected that and played a game of my Votan so I can now buy a third army. But no, it was really fun, and it genuinely reminded me because obviously I know you like go between like Chaos Knights and Demons a bit as well. But I think it's something that I'd forgotten because I haven't, like I said, I've only played Death Guard straight for like 7 months, and having one game on a different faction was a really nice break, and I think it's potentially something like we should encourage people to do if you do have a second army, to maybe every so often just go out, give yourself a little bit of a fresh take, because it was very funny to play that army and just have a completely different rule set and shoot those las cannons around. And I rolled so many 6 in those stupid sustained D3 las cannons. Will, it was so dumb.
Oh, the one where you hit and then you get an extra D, you get lethal and a D3. Yeah.
The final shot of the game, all my opponent had left was a ballistas, and I drew deploy homers, and I was like, I could drive into your deployment and deploy homers with a Sagittor, but for the laughs, I'm gonna try and casino cannon one more time. And I rolled a double 6, got 8 hits and obliterated the ballistas. It was like boom, just made me laugh.
Oh so, man, yeah. That's quality.
Yeah, it was against Chris, so it was a good laugh. We had fun. It was but yeah, it was nice. It was nice change of pace. Like yourself, nice. Mr. Will. But before you answer that very quickly, thank you very much for the gifted membership there from Lazy Chicken. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Crusade. Thank you very much. And Aaron as well. That's a name I can pronounce. Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Thank you also for coming to play Green. If you are new to the channel, hello, welcome to the Discussing Resilient podcast. I'm Aiden. This is Will. Hi, Will. And yeah.
Also,
go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, can't forget Dave. He's not here today, but we also have a third host called Dave. We're the 3 resident hosts who do different things, but we also have various guests who come in, like Zito stood in last week. Don Hooson has been and done guest stuff, various other people too. So if you are joining for the first time, this is your one-stop shop for competitive Death Guard, I guess.
Yeah, Dave stole all the channel money and has run off to on holiday. Where is he? Is he in the Bahamas or something like that?
I don't know. He's in the White Lotus.
Yeah, he's in
the White Lotus. That's where he's gone.
So he's been off. But thank you for going to play Marine. Go on.
Yeah. No, I was going to say he's in the White Lotus. The murder hasn't happened yet, but they're still waiting to find out who's going to be in this season. But yeah, Dave's a character in the latest season of White Lotus. That's what we've decided. Look at his holiday pictures.
he's having a great time. So yeah, if you do enjoy the channel, please feel free to leave a like, especially on this stream one where you're watching right now. Go on, just scroll down, press the little thumb. I know it's a lot of hard work to scroll down and press that little like button, but it really helps your favorite Death Guard channel now, doesn't it? And if you really enjoy it, consider subscribing. If you really enjoy it, you can hit the join button and become a Plague Marine member. It costs £3 a month, which is less than a coffee these days, and you get to join our lovely Discord. If you become a member, go to our YouTube channel homepage, go to our posts tab, and then scroll down. You'll find a link. Get yourself in the Discord, link it to your YouTube, and then you get to join in on all the good little Death Guard discussion that we have there. You get your list review on plague surgery and all that good stuff. But shilling aside, Mr. Will, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm doing good. I've finally sort of decided that Plague Storm is not for me. I tried Plague Storm a little bit more, and yeah, it just doesn't connect with me. I mean, I nearly beat Andy QC and then didn't beat Andy because I tabled most of his army on the turn 1 because he played like he was trying to be different, and then a couple of things down unexpectedly, and I just didn't have any plan B, and then I decided that I'm no longer a Plague Stormer, and Morty, as far as I'm concerned, can go F himself and come back when he's worth more than he just more than just debuff stuff. I've never seen a model roll so many 2s to wound, and he's subbed for a while. So I've switched to an MSU build and took that to an RTT and came second.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was much happier with that, and back to just loads of little stuff running around the board. Two and a half. So I drew with a guy called Dan, who he's podiumed at Stonehammer events a few times, and he normally runs variations of Eldar. Yeah, he's a great guy. It was a good event. It was one of Jason's ones at Element, so it was the midweek one. So it was more kind of.
I'm hoping to come to the next midweek one. I'll probably take my vote on though, again, just to keep it mixed up. But yeah, because I know that he's sort of filled the gap that was left, hasn't he? And it's always fun to have a midweek RTT on a Monday.
Well, the next one's on a bank holiday, so Jason did very, very kindly allow me to shout out the next Stonehammer event, which is a GT on the 12th and 13th of next month. I don't know if you're there or not, Ian. I haven't asked you yet, but obviously you rolling free tickets.
Event is, which is unfortunate. That is exactly when this team's event I'm practicing for is. So I unfortunately won't make that one, but the next one will. I'm coming.
There you go. You'll have to let someone else take one of those one of those free tickets, because you get a free ticket if you go on the podium. But yeah, so shouting out Jason. So for the next bank holiday, I don't know what is it. The 24th would it be? 24th of April.
Yes.
Yeah, Element Games on a Monday, so midweek art eating by loads of war. So you very kindly let me shout out my event at the end of the RTT. So give him a shout out on the podcast as well to return the favours here. A thank you to that. But so moving on to the episode itself, because obviously there'll be lots of chance to talk about lists and what's hot and what's not hot. We have a menace, shall we say, a green menace, not as smelly and green as us, but green all the same. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the current Ork results, Aiden? I mean, it's getting a bit silly, isn't it?
It is getting a bit silly. And just before we down to, I'm just going to have a quick check in with chat just to make sure that we don't.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But don't worry, it's a great topic and we're going to get straight into that. Hello to everybody that is in the chat. Hope you guys are all doing well. We can see a lot of lovely regular faces in here as well. Don Houston saying that Kirby is his spirit animal. Yeah, so we do have a new emoji in chat. Is the Kirby dog face. It should just be Kirby dog to put it in. I'm not sure if I have to sign it to different levels, but I have made it. We're going to try and make some more for the YouTube channel so you guys get a little bit of extra stuff for that. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot of regular faces in the chat. It's nice to see everyone there. We've got Anton saying, what would a Death Guard Demon Prince need to become good? An entire new data sheet, probably, is the reality. But if he gets the loan up out of the Emperor's Children book, at least that's a good starting point. But his ability and all that needs fully reworking, because it's just not great. But if he gets loan up, at least he becomes semi-interesting, because we have no loan up. He would be our loan up choice, and there's things you can do with a toughness 10 loan up, like putting him on an objective and being like, cool, commit something to kill this toughness 10 T11 2 up 4 up. Like, that would be quite interesting to see. So but mainly I got it because it looked really cool. And then we got going down. Guess who just got their disgusting resilient dice? Says Max S. Someone got his dice. Woo! Do you know, Will? They sold out incredibly quickly, and they're having to make an emergency run to make some extra dice because I suppose are extra people. I haven't even got my set yet.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Giving else a set first. So I'm gonna place an order again. Anyone listening? Chuck and Orino has already said if you're in the UK and you want to get some dice and you're worried about the shipping costs, I'm going to be doing an order. I'm just already splitting with one person to try and bring over some sets in one shipment so we can all save a bit of money, and then I'll ship them out to you guys. So let me know if that's something that you guys are interested in. Yes, I know. Morty Runes 2's on a Dread Knight. I made one mistake once, guys. Let it go. Rocky's Gaming Lounge. Hey, Rocky, how are you doing, mate? Glad to catch a stream while enjoying a morning coffee. I hope your coffee is lovely and pestilent.
Hopefully not that pestilent.
Yeah, hopefully not pestilent, no. But I hope you're having a good morning, mate. It's good to see you in the chat there. 40 plus Nurglings are hot. Have you seen this 54 Nurgling list people have been running?
No. Is it people or is it one guy? I got the impression it's just one guy who's made a list and he's just start checking people. I mean, I in theory can do it. I have enough Nurgling bases if I collect them all together, but I just don't know. I just don't know if it looks fun, if I'm to be honest. It looks like the kind of list that... So to me, this looks a bit like Plague Storm. Plague Storm, to me, I don't enjoy it unless I win, because I've taken the list because it's the strongest Death Guard list to take. So I'm taking it to win. If I don't win, I just feel frustrated by it.
Yeah,
I think the Nurgling list would be the same. I feel like it's the list that I could take if I wanted to win, and I just wanted to win. I just wanted to get good with that kind of list. But I imagine it must be so boring. It must just be like, right, stand here for another turn, and yes, you've still got lots of Nurglings in front of you. It'll be another turn before you kill them, and then when they come out, I'll set some pocketwalkers there, and you can kill them. And then turn 4, you'll probably get the centre objective, but at that point, it doesn't matter what you do, because I've already won.
I think it would be one of those where it's funny like the first 2 games, and then novelty wears off pretty quickly after that. It's one of those where if you were against like a opponent like Matt Charles, who we love by the way, if you're against Matt, that would be fucking hilarious. Exactly. It all depends on how salty your opponent gets. The saltier would be the funnier, and that would keep you playing it. But if you're against the opponent who's just like, cool, I can deal with that, like, it's not going to be fun at all. But yeah, so yeah, if you want to run that many Nurglings, you knock yourself out. Thank you very much to Christopher Latt and Mr. Strongboy coming with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Give him a Nurgling shake, Will. Woo! Thank you so much, mate. We really appreciate the ongoing support. You are an absolute legend, mate. Thank you. If you got one, then make sure you say thank you there. Join the Discord, noobs, he says. Hell yeah. Mandy D, how are you doing, Mandy? Well, new data sheets are coming. Yes, indeed they are. Hence why I'm hoping this guy gets a little better. That would be awesome. And then we've got people spamming the Kirby chat. Music Drive, do you think we're going to get anything other than the character? I don't think we are, Will. I think we're just getting a character. Character and a codex.
I think the only thing that makes me think we might get something, and this is like the biggest might, we know that World Eaters are going to get something because they've said every could, and there's been no leaks for World Eaters. And I thought they might announce on this Sunday, because they do that Sunday video, that this Saturday they were going to do the World Eaters pre-order. And I only thought that because, to me, the Eldar one came from absolute nowhere, because it was all guard hype. They released that box in the following week. Because I do think that World Eaters will get their book before Empress Children's book's released officially. I think they'll do World Eaters, then do all that, and then they'll leave it 2 weeks, and then they'll do Fulgrim and the Codex and all that kind of stuff, is my prediction. So I think World Eaters will be soon, and I thought it might be. So the reason I'm leading in with this is we know they're getting something, but there's been no leaks about what their model is. So the fact that's been kept Loctite, then maybe there's something else Loctite for us, but I do find it unlikely. I think it is probably just that character.
Yeah. Well, we might see the World Eater stuff because we've got Adepticon reveals tomorrow night for us.
Oh.
So I reckon that's where we'll see the World Eaters, possibly, if we do see them. But yeah, I agree with. I think it's just going to be a character for us. Brock Laughlin coming in with, he went 3-0 at a local RTT on Sunday, missed out on Thirst by 6 victory points. Unlucky, mate, but that is still 3-0
well done,
at an RTT. Well done, mate. Excellent work. Keep repping. I'm going to assume you're playing Death Guard. You're not coming in and telling me that, and then you're going to secretly tell me you're playing Dakka Detachment now, are you? We will fall out, Brock.
That's it.
Mike saying after running No Morty today, he honestly didn't miss him. Well, no one values your opinion, Mike.
I value it, Mike. I'm with you. Me and Morty were not on speaking terms. He's honestly, the last game I played, I wanted to punch his wings off. Like, I was so angry with him. Just fails all his saves, only rolls 2s to wound when he's hitting like toughness 10 targets. It was just like 300 points of ignoring mods. If you just spent 300 points on more damage, you won't matter about ignoring the mods. You'll end up net even. Is my opinion on Morty. So yeah, he's well and truly in the doghouse. So, yeah.
And then the last one we'll do for now, because then we'll catch on with some topics, and we'll catch back up with chatting after a little bit. Lord Croven saying, random question: if you had to take a melismic malignifier, how would you use it? I mean, if I'm taking a melismic malignifier, I'm just gonna take a meme list and go for the laughs. I'll be honest with you. I don't think you're gonna make that thing work exactly well.
I'd turn into a bong and I'd get stoned in the car park before the game. I think it's the best use, to be honest.
So you are Team Stonehammer, so Team Stoned Hammer. It's not far off Plague Bong.
It's just what it looks like whenever we were in Amsterdam the other week, me and the missus, so I always missed this. So obviously there's all the paraphernalia in the shops. I kept looking at them and I was like, these just got like magnet magnetifiers.
Oh dear me. So yeah, we'll come back to chat in a minute. Obviously, we'll keep checking in with you guys. But let's get back to our green menace that is on the horizon. So, dakka detachment. Did you see the results from the South Coast Super Major, Will?
Was it the only reason that for York list didn't go undefeated? Was it because Manny beat Brian?
Yeah, there had to be an Orc mirror at some point. Yeah, so we had first place Orks Dakka, second place Orks Dakka, and third place Orks Dakka at one of the UKTC Super Majors, which is like where the hardest metas are here. So there's one thing, and then in America, their biggest event, the Rocky, I think it's Rocky Top Open or Rocky something Open. Can you guess what the top 3 were there, Will?
Ooh, let me guess. Orc?
Oh, how did you know?
Oh no, just intuition. Let's say
intuition. What do you think was second, Will?
Orc.
Oh, you're getting good at this, but you'll never guess the third one. There's no way you go 3 for 3, Will.
Surely, I'm saying this here. Surely it wasn't Orc. Surely it was an Eldari or Guard.
It was actually Orcs again.
Fucking hell! I didn't know that had happened. I thought that might be like the trick one. You thought there was a red herring. Yeah, fair play. I mean, that is just stupid.
Yeah, so they are obviously proving to be exceptionally strong and a bit exceptionally stupid. And the one thing that was upsetting was to see, especially in the UKTC one, there was a 4-0 Death Guard player and a 4-0 Custo player. And I do not take Mercy on Custodes, but both of those guys, and I think it was the same in the Rocky Mountain Open as well.
That was a Death Guard listed really well, wasn't it? That weird MSU one.
Yeah, but then both of, I think, especially you can see on these lists, then hit the round 5 pairing into Dakka Detachment and lost like 100 to 28, and basically just like slaughtered his final position absolutely because of that many points lost. So that's really sad to see, and it's not a great look. But I think the one thing that we want to touch on this is because we've ranted about Orcs really, we've already talked about why it's stupid and stuff like that. But what we have seen today, Will, is a couple of events have come out. Alpine Cup being the first one to sort of come out. Then there was another one I just can't remember the name of, and then Glasshammer recently have come out, and they have said they are banning the dakka detachment, which is quite an interesting take to see, and a full attachment like getting banned. Like I don't think we've seen this before. People say Votan from Germany when the Codex originally came out.
Votan was banned pretty much everywhere, to be honest. But the difference with Votan, they'll be like Emperor Children now. They didn't exist previously, so people didn't have an existing model collection that then you can't use it. It's like, well, you couldn't use it before if you bought it. You just can't use it yet, which is a different kind of situation. And I guess with the Orks, like me and them were talking before this, to be clear, they've banned that detachment, not Orcs. So if you are an Orc player, you can still bring a different detachment. Obviously, you still have a Codex. So it's not like they're invalidating your models, just invalidating that particular rule set. So I think in some senses it's fair, to be honest. I don't mind it. But at the same time though, I mean, is Orcs more egregious than like unnerfed, Guard? Like if we roll back all the stuff that Guard have just had and they played into Orcs, what's the outcome? Is it like a game? Did Guard win? Because if they do, well, why didn't we ban Bridgehead? Would be the counterpoint to make if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or is it that it's so much more egregious than Bridgehead? I don't know what your opinions on that are.
I think it's weird. I think the detachment is very clearly pushed. Like the person who made the detachment just didn't straight up just do maths on it, like basic maths on it. Just shows you how kind of insane that detachment is, and it's been proven. It's been proven that it's daft. Now, I think the thing is that it is better than Bridgehead. I think, like you said, I think it could maybe have had a decent game between them. But if we are at a point where we said Bridgehead was too much, that it had to be gutted as hard as it did, which it probably didn't need to be gutted that hard. It needed nerfs, but probably not as bad as it got. But then to release this following after, and I think the more ironic thing is Tactical Brigade. They said Tactical Brigade shooting is like too much, so they nerfed that. But then this thing then come out.
No, that was weird.
Yeah, it's daft, and the thing is, it's causing a bit of a discussion, especially on like Reddit and stuff like that, where basically the idea is like, should we be banning detachments? And I wanted to get your opinion on it, Will, because I mean, I'm of the opinion like, I agree. I think if a detachment is genuine like unhealthy for the game and the meta game, and especially when it's just kind of nowhere. And my worry is right now, obviously Adepticon's about to happen, and I'm worried that it's obviously illegal for Adepticon. That I worry the two big events we had this weekend will be mirrored in Adepticon, and that could ruin a lot of people's Adepticon experience, and it kind of will make Adepticon have this negative vibe about it, because everyone will be like, oh look, dakka ruined Adepticon. And when something's getting such a bad reputation like that, it can be off-putting. Like, I wouldn't want to go to Sheffield right now if dakka's going to be there, because for me, someone who wanted to try and get a 5-0, or at least 4-1, I'm more than likely going to face dakka, and right now I don't feel confident thinking I have much of a game into that. In which point, then, like, why am I even bothering at that point? But how do you feel about it?
I mean, so in terms of, like, player goals, so my goal is I always hope to get a 4-1, but I aim for the 3-2, and then I like to be in the last round with 4-1 on the cards, and it makes an exciting game.
Yeah.
So I'm not in the same boat as you, like, dakka being there doesn't hurt me, doesn't stop me wanting to go to things, because if I'm only expecting a 3-2, hoping for better, but 3-2 I'm happy with. I expect to lose 2 games. If I lose dakka into 1, then I'm in a different tier, and then if I have a good run in the final round, get dakka again or something else good, I'm not put off by that event. Do you know what I mean? I just take it as what it is. But obviously that's a result thing, so I'm talking maybe some more of a mid-table player's point of view, I would guess. But then talking with TO's point of view, if I put my TO hat on, that's where it's a bit harder for me. Now, I don't know until what other people how they would feel.
So just very quickly, if people don't know, Will actually does organise events, and he does run his own Stonehammer events. So that's why he's saying it from his perspective. I don't run events, I don't run tournaments, but Will actually does.
Yeah, so from that point of view, it's a hard one. It's sort of like, because we've made calls in the past where you can look at, the event on a whole, like, what is it better? Like, you've got 50, 60 people in a hall. Is it, better to have a rule that maybe says rules as written, and 3 people be exploiting it and then, having not an unfair advantage, but an advantage? Yeah. Or is it better to cut that off and then make it balanced for everyone and have 3 unhappy people, which we have had at events before? Yeah. And I think it was the right call that we did that, to be honest, because the majority, that's what people have paid. They pay to have fun. But then as long as, I don't know, I think it's fine to ban it, but the precedent then is, where do you draw the line? For example, we'll go back to Bridgehead. Okay, we're going to ban this. Well, why didn't we ban Bridgehead? If this is the sort of what we're setting, like where do we draw the line? So are we going to, like, if the Death Guard book comes out, are we going to say, if there's one really strong detachment, we're going to say you can play the book except for that detachment until there's a nerf? Like where is the line?
Yeah.
And so the next thing from that, and this is a company thing, so this isn't down to the staff member, but we all know that Josh Roberts is, he's their balance guy.
Yes.
Josh Roberts sometimes takes lists that probably should be nerfed by GW, but it's GW's relationship with him. This is my understanding, that they don't listen to him. So this is a situation where Josh is obviously there, and I'm sure Josh has said to someone, look, this is a problem.
Yeah, I can still hear him.
Should it be down to GW rather than us be banning events? And I understand the ban kind of maybe spurs GW on, but should GW be setting in and going, right, okay, we've screwed up, guys, FAQ in this? Because they could still have it pretty busted, but like tone it down, like they did with Star Shatter. So it's not like it's still going to win events, but it's not going to win events as like overwhelmingly. Should the conversation be passed back to the company? The company who writes the rules, approves them. Should they be leaving it down to events? Like, say there was a GW Super Major coming up, instead of Adepticon, what would their ruling be? And if they were to make that ruling, why would that be for that event and not just for the game on a whole? So I don't know. It opens up a wider conversation, I guess. I don't know what your thoughts on that would be.
Yeah, so very quickly, Brian Churrill, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. He says, I'll be at Adepticon playing in the singles and the team tournament. Minimum of 9 games throughout the weekend. Going to be awesome and brutal. That is going to be quite brutal, but that will be an awesome experience. I've done 8 games, Max, so 9 you're going to beat me on that one. So in fact, he says, you guys are the best. Thank you very much. I'll take my sip just for you, Brian, because I know you like it.
Wiggle some nurglings for you.
Wiggle some nurglings for you as well. Hope you have a blast, mate. Hope you have a good time at Adepticon, and hope you don't get dakka. Sir, thank you very much for being Plague Marine member for 8 months. Thank you so much, mate, for the ongoing support. That is a legendary amount of support. Ooh. Thank you. And Mr. Raging Horn coming in with the £5 super chat. Sorry, pound. We're in British money now.
You can just have a wiggle for that name. I like that.
Local Tournament to me is now offering discounts to the event if people bring dakka and a further discount for having a stomper. Any ideas why? That's called someone trying to just be funny and memey and go against the narrative and get themselves a bit of publicity, which is, fair enough, but I think that's a little like just more of a meme than anything. I don't don't worry about it too much. It's just someone trying to get in on the publicity.
If you just want to make sure your podium has dakka, then yeah.
Yeah. In relation to the bans, I think the bans are good in a way that if people do it, it kind of forces GW to do something. Because here's the thing, I think this wouldn't be as bad as if this came out and we knew in like a month's time it'd be a data slate. The fact that these came out with a data slate has got us all sitting here going, oh shit, have we got 3 months of this coming now? Because we can deal with bad metas and a book coming out and being too strong. We've dealt with that for a couple of weeks, month before. But when it comes because of a data slate and you've got like basically an entire quarter of a year of this nonsense, it's really off-putting for quite a lot of people who are like in competitive, just don't want to deal with it. So I think that this is a combination of the fact of when it came out with how strong it is, and this is almost the community's way of trying to push back and, like you said, almost kick the ball back at GW and say, look, we'll ban the damn thing until you address it. So the power's in your hands, GW, at that point. And I get it. I also get some bigger. I know UKTC will never do that. Like, they just won't. They just play Raw pretty much all the time because they can't be asked dealing with it. Which is fair enough. Like, Raw is Raw. Like, it's what it is. But like, I also respect some places being like, hey, no, look, I don't want my event to just be triple dakka at the top. So I totally get that. And for you also to protect, like you said, your sales, I would always rather have 57 people at my 60-player event be happy and have 3 players pissed off rather than have 57 people be like, oh, dakka is going to win it again, and have 3 people who have that army at hand be able to get an easy and free win for me personally. So yeah, I do I do kind of side with the ban side, in that sense. Is it an official? There's no. So Adepticon hasn't banned it. So nothing
Yeah.
is. It is fully legal for Adepticon. I'm worried it's going to destroy Adepticon because of that. But what I'm saying is the Alpine Cup, Glasshammer, and another one have already banned it over here, and apparently some more are going up there and there. But it started the discussion about banning detachments, and I agree. If a detachment is kind of just absolutely absurd to the point where it kind of makes the game feel like, what's the point? Because like Will said, no, a lot of people just go to events just to have 5 games of fun. And I imagine for them, it's probably not that much of an issue. But I know, like, from my perspective, like, I have no interest in going to an event right now, unless it's teams, because I can just dodge it. But in singles, like, right now, because again, my goal now is to try and push my ITC score as high as I can. And for that, at this point, I basically need 5 and O's, and I just know that's not... Unless I get the luckiest run and just dodge them all somehow. But the chance of that happening are just, like, next to none. It's just not worth my effort right now, personally. But yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, Will?
Definitely. I mean, like I say, I'm not. I don't know. It's hard to have a strong opinion on it, you know, in the sense I can see it from both sides. But I do wish that, you know, going back to the balancing, I do wish that obviously they've got someone in a role now. I do wish they would use that person a bit more. Like, it seems like they've made a role just to ignore them. Like, it seems like, you know, it just seems a bit stupid, and it's terrible optics to have the person who's meant to be balancing the game. Surely, like, if you'd say you wrote the dakka list and you're like, this is busted.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, I'm going to take this to the next event and win it as said person in said role, surely you should be like, email boss, mate, like, I've just wrote this list. This is crap. This should not exist. Let's do a fix and we'll patch it. Do you know what I mean? Instead of let's run it for 3 months. And that's not what's happening here. But I feel like there should be more communication on the GW side, because I think, you know, we mentioned his name already, Josh Roberts. I think Josh is doing his job, but I don't think he's being listened to by his superiors.
Yes.
So I feel like his superiors need to, like, you've given him a wage, you've given him a role, you've addressed he needed and created it. So use him, you know, use the assets that you've got. You know, don't sort of like, because to be honest, when they do stuff like this, I honestly think they just look at the sales figures and go, we haven't sold many looters recently, we haven't sold many, you know, big mech whatevers, and they go, right, it's a new detachment, and just focus on these units, and then we'll run it for 3 months, we'll sell loads of stuff, and then we'll nerf it when everyone's bought them. Do you know, that's what I honestly think GW do, but they've gone too far this time. Like, make it strong, don't make it busted.
I 100% agree that I understand that there's a financial incentive for this hobby, 100%. Like you said, I think this is one of those instances, Will, where maybe the financial brain won out over the actual balance of the game brain. And I think you're right. They need to, because from what I'm not 100% know. From what I've heard from people that in the playtesting sphere, they didn't even see this attachment. Like, they genuinely just, this came out and they were like, what the fuck?
It doesn't feel playtested, does it?
No.
It feels like it's been written by someone who doesn't really play the game very often, or who plays the game at a very low level and sort of like doesn't really sort of
was like taking stompers with it and stuff like that, and like having fun, and not actually like just going triple tank plus triple looter, triple flash gates, haha, die.
yeah, they're thinking put the people who run loads of Ork boys and just have like mediocre units kind of using insane rules, whereas like if you just I just don't think they think about this stuff sometimes. They don't like apply what does it do on this unit, which, you know, exploits it heavily.
Yeah,
but it's an odd one. I mean, I hope that they do nerf it soon.
Yeah. I don't want to see 3 months of this. I really don't want to see 3 months of this.
In many ways, like, it would be kind of good if it did clean sweep Adepticon.
Yes.
Because then it's kind of like it validates the calls for a ban. And like I say, hopefully GW will learn the lesson, but they don't seem to. It's the reality. They always nerf things, balance it, and then undo it, like in the next edition or the next patch. Like Indirect's the prime example of this. But hopefully they'll, like I say, if you're listening GW, strong rules are annoying. Don't write broken rules, I think, is the stuff that, you know, and that comes from us. You know, we've got a codex coming. I think we both agree that we'd like a codex that's strong and competes.
Yeah, but not
maybe
this level.
somewhere in A tier. Yeah, but we don't want like
we don't want this.
We don't want it so strong that like if you come back from an event and you haven't gone at least 4 rounds, like, how did you not go 4-1 with that army? Like, what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You want some player skill to still be in there, and, you know, the the people to sort of shine. But yeah, it's an odd one.
Just to answer a quick question in chat. Not Ivar Helston who said, doesn't the new Death Guard attachment have play into this? No. Stealth does nothing to this because they don't care. All their damage is coming from their 6s spiking. So -1 to hit and stuff like that has honestly way less impact into this at all because they'll just kill you with the 6s. Because every 6 is 3 hits. It is absurd, and they'll smash to pieces. It does not work.
The only way you might get play out of that, if to expand it, is if you go that American or Terminator build, but you're just playing a 4+ game where you're then making everything -1 to wound, and it's not a game where you can say I won with skill. It's a game because I made loads of 4+ saves, so in that sense it might have play. In the sense it doesn't just get blown off the board like loads of Plague Marines would, but it's not like a reliable way to beat it. Do you think we've got to build then, Aiden? I mean, this is something that we're going to sort of talk about. I can't see a build personally, but you know, I mean,
I don't think we've built to beat that. I genuinely don't.
So I mean, expand now. So I put this in our chat a couple of days ago in the store on my team chat. And we've got some really good players. Got a guy from Team China who's on there. Got Andy QC.
Is that
so it's like It's called Al. I always butcher his name. He lived in China as like an expat. So when they did the first year, because he was in this half the hemisphere, he sort of so I think he's still part of the team. He's the guy who won the tournament last weekend with Deathwatch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the reason I'm mentioning those players, we put it in there because there's people's opinion, that they track the game closely. And I asked, is there any build in any army that's favourable into dakka? And the stuff that came back is actually people think Chaos Knights have a game, but it's not a favourable game. It's still they've got the best chance, seems to be what people are coming back with. But, it's still a low chance.
World Eaters, if they get first, and they can connect with some Exalted 8 bound into units and they fail battle shock and can't fall back, that is like World Eaters genuinely can prey upon dakka, providing they don't get Zogrod jailed. So they actually have a play into it, I will say that. But for everyone else, it's been a rough time.
Do you know what else would have game then? Emperor's Children might as well, for the same reason, because they can play that kind of I'm just on you turn 1 game.
I don't know if they can stick there though, because the Orks fall back, because the Orks can screen really easily, and Emperor's Children can't.
Oh, so it's the holding them in. It's not just the first wave. You just do so much. Like you say, you got the trucks, haven't you? Right. Okay.
Yeah, because the Exotic round make them take a leadership test, and Orks leadership is like a 7 or an 8, so they have a good chance of like keeping them there. Whereas the EC, I think they just fall back from and then just shoot them to death and kill them all. But we'll see. But I do hope it, in a weird sadistic way, I do hope dakka absolutely demolishes Adepticon, because it would just sort of raise the issue. But on a more positive note, if we were to have a quick chat about Adepticon, what would you love to see from the reveal side of Adepticon, Mr. Will? Oh, and I just saw that very much. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships, Mr. Raging Horn. Thank you so much, mate. I really, really appreciate it. If you got gifted membership, make sure to say thank you to Mr. Raging Horn there. So thank you.
That's his Raging Horn. There you go.
But yeah. So yeah, what would you hope to see? Obviously, I want to see some at World Eaters, because the sooner we know World Eaters is coming, I want to see it. Honestly, okay, this is dream scenario, Will. They just go, look, boys and girls, it's chaos time. World Eaters, we've just revealed it at Adepticon. You know what the coolest part about that is? They're up for pre-order on the coming next weekend. So, like, not this weekend, the weekend after. That would be really cool, because then it means, like, we're really close at that point.
Yeah.
I just want to know when I want them to show off World Eaters. I want to be like, World Eaters are coming very soon, because the sooner those things can get out, they can get out of the spotlight and give it to the real army of Death Guard.
Yeah. I don't know what they reveal. I'm not expecting an awful lot for 40k. I can't think what's due anything. I mean, like you say, World Eaters, in terms of models, I don't think going to get very much, because they've given their kill team, haven't they?
Yeah, the kill team box.
I'm wondering if they're going to say that's their unit. Which is a bit of a backhanded. It's a bit naff for them, but if that's what happens, that's what happens.
I hope they get some new units. That'd be really cool. So they got some Jugger Cavalry. That'd be cool. Some Plague, some Butch Surgeons. That'd be cool. But I mean, I would love to see our official book artwork and stuff as well. Like, I just want to see a picture of our book, like an actual, here guys, it's coming. And if maybe they do show off all the box sets that are coming out, because we know we've heard with the rumors are that every Chaos Army is going to get like a box. You know, like they've been doing for every army that's been coming out. They come like a box set. It'd be cool if they showed all of them because I'd love to see what's in ours. I
really hope they don't do a box for us
because I know what they're going to do. Will they're going to put that new character?
Have to buy that box to get the new character in that book. Like
it's going to go 120 quid, and I don't need any of the models part of one fucking character.
I mean, I guess it's where I'm glad I work at Element Games. I will anytime someone buys a book, I'll just counter say, I'll give you 30 quid for that character.
Yeah, it's like, please.
You want 30 quid off this, mate? I'll give you 30 quid cash out my pocket. I'll just buy the character. If I ask enough people, I'll get 3 characters, presumably, without having to buy any boxes.
That'd be fun. Oh, David Irving says, do you reckon we'll see new mission cards, like in like a new Pariah Nexus kind of thing?
Do you know what? We are due them, actually, but I hope they don't do that, because we've had a bit of a rant about GW there. They've been out of stock for so long.
It's so bad for stock
in the face. It's like you've waited 3 to 4 months for your cards. Here they are. They're invalidated. I really hope they don't do that, just from a business point of view. But at the same time, we are due a new set of missions. Yeah. So
GW, if you're listening, the cards you make that are required to play the game, however many you are thinking of printing, like quadruple that. Please learn from the mistake, because it's not happened once. It's happened to this previous one as well. People need these to literally play your game. Understand this. Overstock anything, it should be these things.
Yep. Yeah. So, I don't know, to be honest, but outside of that, I mean, it looks like the Tyranids are getting a new terrain feature. I saw that in
we saw that. Video. Yeah, we saw that on the reveal thing they did, so...
Another piece of terrain that never gets used and isn't good for anything.
Woohoo! Yeah, it's not great, but yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we get some juicy chaos stuff, and if we, like I said, if World Eaters get announced, so we get a date for them, then we can sort of more accurately pin when we're going to get ours. So I think that's the best thing that we saw. Oh, Rocky coming in. I hope we get to see Lord of Pox's rules. I would love that if we got a sneaky rules preview. Oh, that'd be good. If they pick one unit from every Chaos army and just give us a pretty sneaky preview of a rule, that would be great. Or like a detachment rule or something like that. I don't think we'll get that. I think it's all going to be out World Eaters, but you never know. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we will get lucky. But I'll wake up on Thursday morning and I'll have something to read, so that'll be quite cool.
Yeah, it's nice to have the 30 second like cinematics videos that they do. Like, it's nice. Oh, actually, do you know what? I reckon there will be something that we can get excited about. I reckon they'll announce the Astartes 2 release date.
Oh, okay. Do you reckon?
Well, they've got the trailer out, haven't they?
Yeah, that is true.
Makes sense. They might do like an extended trailer and then announce when it's actually available to stream. That would be cool. That's something I would get behind. I could see that happening.
I could see that. That'd be quite cool. But I think at the end of the day, like we all know we're coming. So any news for Chaos releases is going to be good news. You might even say, hey, all the new Emperor's Children, the units that are out, are coming out this weekend. That'd be good, because again, every step we're getting a little closer. And maybe it'll actually expand the... I don't think they'll expand the roadmap anymore, because I want to know what the fucking Salamanders book is. Are we having a Salamanders book, or is it Marines 2? Because I'm not going to lie...
Oh, better not do Marines 2 again.
Because for those who don't know and haven't played the last 2 editions, there's been a Marines 2 book, and every single time there's a Marines 2 book, it's been kind of fucking busted.
Iron Hands, here we go again.
Yeah, will GW learn that Iron Hands vehicle spam is very strong? Probably not.
If they do Space Marines 2 again, like, God, I don't think I'll be able to cope.
But now you can have your Space Marine 2 Codex with your Space Marine 2 game that got you into it. Now you got 2 Space Marine 2s. There's so many 2s, Will.
I'd just be so angry if they get a second book before some armies have even got their first one.
Yeah, that would piss. Like, imagine a Space Wolf player just sat in the corner like...
Oh, you'd be angry, wouldn't you?
God. But yeah, I mean, I hopefully we'll get something cool from that. So what has we got else to talk about? So we got so WTC terrain that I've been playing on at the moment. So that's 4 Space Marines. That's Space Marine 4. Space Marine 4 confirmed, Will. They've just confirmed 3. So I mean, if we were to talk about, so moving over to sort of like the other topic I want to talk about, which is quickly touch on WTC. So I've been practicing WTC terrain. I know some people who listen probably play on WTC. It's not the most popular format in the UK, and I don't know if it's popular in America. I probably don't imagine it is. I think it's mostly GW
I think
in
it's
America.
mainly Germany. I think France use a lot of it. Poland, I know, are all over it because they do a lot of team stuff.
Yes.
Maybe Belgium and stuff. I don't know. I think it's popular elsewhere in Europe, isn't it? Basically, from what I understand.
So I've been sort of practicing trying to get my head around that. So one thing I've learned is the maps are weird. Like in teams in UKTC, your board layouts don't really change. There's just like a heavy and a light variation. So like maybe one of the runes will be like span around, or there'll be more space between them. In WTC, the map layouts can genuinely just be completely different from table to table in the same round, which is bizarre to me, like absolutely bizarre. As Will alluded to before, I don't think Plague Storm works as well on WTC terrain because there's a lot of terrain on that board, isn't there, Will?
Yeah, well, that's what it was on when I first tried it, and it's okay, but your team also has to sort of put you on the right board with the right army, and it can go horribly wrong. And the terrain's just because there's so many walls to move through, it's much harder to get to like center objectives and stuff. You really have to like deploy, and if you lose a flank, you've probably just lost the flank, with the exception of the mortars firing over to it. Is the reality.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing is it's so much harder to like plan your game around it, like because you don't know what deployment you're on, and because like you say, the deployments are so wildly different. Yeah, and there's some boards, for example, the 10-man Plague Marine squad. Some boards have got an objective that's got a big piece covering it. Some boards don't have that. So if you're taking the 10-man Plague Marine squad, there'll be boards where it can camp there and it can just hold your objective and do its thing. Other games where it's got to go out and kill stuff, and if you don't get a good trade, it's just a 300-point unit that dies standing in the open. Like it's a really hard mission set to build lists for, I think.
Yeah, but it has taught me a few things, and one thing we were talking about before is potentially a unit that got a recent glow up. We'll get into that in a second. But so for a long time on UKTC and in UK, I have been off the 10-man Plague Marine fight first brick. I don't think it's great on UKTC in general. However, after playing WTC, I kind of get why people still take it on WTC. Like, as we alluded to there, sometimes there are objectives that are fully covered by a ruin, and those 10 guys sat in that who can get... Because in UKTC, you can hold objective from behind a ruin, but you can basically get, like, one guy on it. So you get 2 OC on it, so you can still be out OC'd quite easily. Whereas in WTC, you can actually get almost, like, quite a few guys on there. And then the fight first. And I've started to understand why people are doing the full... biotic weapons plus heavy plague weapon squads, because on UKTC, again, I don't feel like that's needed. WTC, if your entire job is to sit behind that wall and just be a fight first OC on that point, and you'll never get shot, then I totally understand now why people take biotic weapons and heavy plague weapons, because you just want that unit to hit back as hard as possible if it gets charged, so nothing wants to charge it at all. So learning a few things on that. And another thing that's we've been and Will's also tested out, it's our new demon friend, the Beast of Burgle. Will, would you like to tell us what happened recently to the Beast of Burgle?
Oh, he's really good. So he got 6-inch scout, really good. And he also got an extra pip of OC, which I had missed until I listened to a review, and then had to literally go and look at his data sheet because I thought maybe his data got confused. But yeah, he's 3 OC now, and that extra pip of OC makes a big difference because he's quite easy to hide. He gets a scout. And yeah, like, I ran 2 of them in the list that I took the RT team and went undefeated with, and they were really...
Oh, bloody hell, one second. I've got switching lights around, Will. 1 second. I can't hear you. The stream can hear you. I cannot. Do not worry. I am fixing it.
Yeah, so they're just tough, basically. You've still got the option of putting them in deep strike.
There it is.
And when you put them in deep strike, obviously they can still drop into a little corner. But then the scout, I put them on the board, and they've got a really awkward profile because they're still toughness 9. And if you don't kill them all in a phase, they regain all their wounds. And they've got 7 wounds and a 5 invuln. I mean, don't get me wrong, if an opponent commits into them, they will die. So we were having a chat with another friend, and I said, they're in a weird spot, Beast. And I feel like Beast and Nurgle and Blight Haulers are all of a sudden competing for the same slot. So say at the end of a list, if I've got a Beast and Nurgle and Nurglings, and I've got an awkward 20 points, the Beast and Nurgle turns into a Blight Hauler. And then, but at the same time, if I've made a list and I've got a Blight Hauler and I've got a Nurgle, so I wanted one screening unit, and then all of a sudden I've got 20 points to shave, the Blight Hauler becomes the Beast and Nurgle. And the reason we're talking about this, the Blight Hauler is harder to kill than a Beast of Nurgle in terms of like focusing it down. But the Beast of Nurgle, if you don't focus it down enough, it's just wasted shots. But they aren't indestructible. It's very important to remember this. Like, if someone wants a Beast of Nurgle dead, it's still only got a 5 bin in his toughness 9.
Yeah.
But it's 65 points, and they are having to invest real stuff. And if you spike a couple of 5-ups on your invuln, they've shot a couple of las cannons, it is so frustrating for an opponent.
Yes.
Because they're 65 points and they're low at the ground, they're easy to hide, not responding infantry, they're just solid. They're way too cheap for their points is the outcome I came to. I don't think they need to be more than 70. I think if they were 75, I might be a bit, ooh. But even at 75, they might just be on the money. Because we have to take the Nurgling tax is the thing for us. So, take...
The unit's fine.
Yeah. Like, I had 2 in the list I ran yesterday because I wanted the 2 Nurglings because of the GW maps, which is what we played on. I wanted to screen out bits of the board and make it so people couldn't get shooting lanes onto stuff.
Yeah.
So that meant having 2 Beast Solo Beast and Nurgle was completely legitimate, and often they would run and stand on the same objective. Because, you kill one, okay, you've got that one. Now you've got to have other guns to shoot into the other one.
Yeah, and you're not even going to get any spillover damage there either.
yeah, that's it. But yeah, they're just solid. I mean, how have you found them in? So I sort of rambled a bit there, I'll say.
No, you saved me. Mike died, don't worry. There's so before the buff to give them scout, they were kind of relegated to having to almost start in reserves and just be a deep strike action kind of thing. Scouts has, as Will probably alluded to, then I couldn't hear him because my match out. I imagine he alluded to them almost like becoming a pseudo bloat drone. Because as Will said, they are an immensely annoying unit to kill. Not because they're hard to kill, but it's very it's very hard to mentally map out how to kill it, because 5-up in, and this is one thing as well, I've been playing like PBCs and the demon engines, those 5-up in ones are worth their, like, at times just worth the weight in gold. Like, Jesus Christ, having that backup 5-up in one against like a melter which is out of nowhere and suddenly you've passed it when your opponent was expecting it to just die, like it can genuinely flip a game. So having this unit does that, and it also has T9, 7 wounds, and 5-up in 1, and if you, like Will said, if you don't kill it, then you basically did nothing to it. It heals back to full. You literally exposed units for nothing. So that means you need to guarantee you kill it, which half the time means your opponent's going to overexpose stuff for something that is even less points than a single bloat run. It's 65 points. So these things are great for just moving 12 turn 1. You just go on to an objective, do an action, do whatever you want. They're great throwaway. They're great to force your opponent to come out saying, because again, the one good thing we say about bloat runs all the time is these are units that can't realistically be killed by other units, the same type of unit in other armies. Like, 5 scouts are not realistically going to kill a Beast of Nurgle. Like a stealth suit team, they're going to have to bank on that fusion blaster connecting, but they're probably not going to they're probably not going to risk it. It's hitting on 4s, wounded on 4s.
Well, 5 scouts into Beast of Nurgle. So this is also weird. I think you've mapped this out before. I've had this experience. If you leave a Beast of Nurgle on an objective with like 5 power armored guys, eventually the Beast of Nurgle will win that fight, because normally the 5 power armored guys can't kill the Beast of Nurgle, and eventually the Beast of Nurgle whittles them down to where he actually wins. So the scouts, for example, the Beast of Nurgle isn't actually a joke in combat either. Nope. Like, it's 6 attacks hitting on 4s, only 1 AP, which is but then also 2 damage, as Aiden said.
We have Contagion to help out as well, technically.
And it has death wounds.
Yeah.
It's one of the only things that actually has death wounds. And I'm like I played a game the other day against one of the lads on our team, and he's randomly just solo one-turned like a tech marine from full to nothing. Like, it was one of these things, he was just running the point just to sort of like out-or-see him. I said, well, we'll charge him. Yeah, he just one-turn soloed him. It was fair play.
I think one of the interesting things as well is because I had 5 assault and it's at full 5 jump assault instead of charge it, and left it on 1 wound, it healed to full, and then not only, like, the thing is, as the beast like gets into the ongoing combat, if it survives that first round, chances are it kills one back, so there's even less chance for your opponent to one round it the next time. So then it heals again, and it's basically just like it gets to a point where it comes out of control for the little skirmish unit to even potentially kill it, and then you're just like, cool, he just over time will kill you. And again, 65 points. It's really cheap, and it's a beast, so it can walk through walls as well. It can walk through walls. It can do the cultist job for 15 points more, and also be a lot harder to kill. But you can also take cultists as well. So there's actually a lot of forward ability to like score and get pressure on. So like right now, I almost want at least one beast in every list. Like Nurglings and Beast. Nurgling Infiltrate just helps in certain matchups, and it's okay, and it's also nice to make sure if your opponent gets a turn one like area denial, like worst case scenario, you put them in like the corner of the L and UKTC, and like cool, you're only getting 2 points. You're not going to get the whole 5, which is nice. But like the Beast is really good, isn't it?
It's good. I already think you probably still need one unit of Nurglings, not for the all you used to, but just because we are a swarm, it is good to generally have some ball control in one area of the board, like, and it helps justify the Nurglings when you then sort of open up the Beast and Nurgle slot. I think it's sort of like, I think for 100 points for those two, it's a great little package just for mission play.
Yeah,
like,
and also they have the synergy of one being Infiltrate, which guarantees you can get your scout off as well. They have a nice little bit of synergy between them, which is quite cute.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's really good. I mean, like I said, the list I ran yesterday, I had 2 Nurglings and 2 Beasts. I don't know if I would keep 2 Beasts on UKTC. Maybe drop it down to 1. I mean, you don't have to have them at the same time, but I think try them is what I would say.
Yeah.
I think,
the one thing we were saying before, Will, is that we feel like there's too much open space to make use out of the double scout on UKTC. Like the little things in the middle of the board are great for blocking attack, but reality someone just comes down a flank and shoots you. So like 1 scout in Beast is probably good enough for UKTC. But if you were to play WTC or like Glasshammer, which has like the bigger bases to hide behind on the terrain, I think you can make an argument for 2 quite easily.
Yeah, I remember like I did 2 because I took them for the GW to win. It was perfect for that. It did exactly what I wanted it to do, and I was really happy with that choice. One thing I would say about UKTC, and this is something that people all know, I forget the names of the board. So the quarter deployment one,
Search and Destroy.
The expansion objective that's kind of on the long side of the board. That expansion objective you can only hold with a certain size of base, and it's like I don't know if Aiden knows he's gone. So you can hear me or not, Aiden, if you mute yourself.
No, I can hear Nat was just trying to make me eat half of the cream egg that she has eaten and no longer wants the other half. Because reasons. Why open it, woman?
What I was going to say is the Beast of Nurgle is on the right size base to fit in without being on the lip of the terrain and be an inch back from the wall. A Blight Hauler is actually too big for that size of base.
Oh, okay.
The fact he's now 3OC, it's a little 3OC dump on that bit. And also on the first deployment, which is the longboard edge, I forget what that's called in terms of missile. Donawar. Again, on that one, you can scout on that one. A bloat drone is too tall and can be shot through the second story. Windows are open. Yeah, so the Beast, again, can just go in the corner, tick right into the corner, so people go past it, and you put 3OC on a point. Again, it's a really good utility piece that I think can just go and hold your expansion objective for you with 3OC, and you can put a more hard-hitting unit behind it, like Plague Marines, whatever, and then you can start the trades off. And the reality is, they might even just bounce off the Beast. So
here's another point as well. The one interesting thing about Beast as well is, let's say my opponent puts 5 power armored guys onto the point, 5 jumping assessors again, whatever. They don't even charge the Beast, and they just want to out-OC it. With cultists, if cultists were on that point right now, the cultists would have to just walk onto the point to out-OC the assault intercessors. They probably don't have a chance at killing those guys back. The Beast can actually go and fight the thing that contests it, because it actually has, like you said, it's damage 2. Like, don't worry, it's not going to like go out there and just wipe the entire unit, but it can engage in those fights which maybe cultists like might not want to. Like, cultists can. Like, I've had cultists like spike and kill 5 scouts before. It's not unreasonable, but that's because, again, -1 save and getting some lucky shots, some lucky punches, whereas the Beast can reliably go and engage those kind of units and get some nice action. So I think we're up on Beast. Last topic we'll sort of touch on today, just because, again, it's getting towards the hour point.
My missus is making dinner, so I need to...
So very, very quickly, Christopher Lart Strongboy, 18 months membership, absolute legend. He actually really likes crabs on WTC. I haven't tried Defiles. I don't actually own a Defiler, so and I'm kind of nervous because I'm not sure if we may lose them or not. So I'm not going to go and buy one right now. I'm going to wait for the book.
I have played on WTC a few times. I'm going to expand on that. Crabs could be an absolute nightmare on those boards. It depends on the board you get. Some of the more open boards, crabs would be really good on. But if you get a dense board, or even some of the medium boards, you might be a bit sad. So yeah, I think they're one of them ones where, because if you take them to like a singles tournament that uses WTC to enough, they generally just pick one of the maps and use that for the missions. But if you take it to actual teams, there's 8 different maps for each round, and if your team puts you on the wrong map, it could be rough.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I would avoid units like that, where you become really map dependent, unless your team has told you we're going to put you out as
map,
we're going to put you out first, and you're always going to get a pick. You know, unless your team's given you that privilege or your list is built to be that way, I would be cautious. Again, unless of course it's a singles event and they've picked 5 maps from each round, and you know what you're going into.
What you're going for,
completely different, of course. Fair.
Yeah. Chuck Norris said Aiden versus Don TTS. Well, when our schedules actually get to line up and not be like 4 o'clock in the morning for me, or like 6 a.m. in the morning for Don when I'm like at work. So we'll try, but it's very hard. We live on opposite ends of the world, so it gets quite difficult. And Brock Laughlin,
gonna do a weekend one, I think.
Yeah, maybe we'll celebrate Codex. We'll both pick a detachment from the Codex. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Late night Death Guard stream.
Late night Death Guard, late night Plaguing. And Brock Laughlin coming with his 16-month membership. Thank you very much there, Mr. Brock Laughlin. Again, incredible that support. He's coming in with the 5 Kirby dog faces. Thank you very much for the 5 Kirby dog faces. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think next week we probably might have an episode where we just talk a bit more about the demons, because I want to talk about Rotigus. I want to talk about Grand Claymon, because I don't know if you've tried the new Rotigus out. I know a few people have. They're saying he's pretty good.
He's pretty. Sizing before we sort of start to wrap things up. I did try a mono Nurgle build in the Better detachment because I thought it would be cracked. It was awful. I would not play the game, but that was mono Nurgle. The T13 on Great and Clean ones is negligible. Most stuff, with the exception of most weapons, there's only really last cannons at strength 12 in the game, and minimum 5 made a difference. But everything else was either like doing lethal hits, and the things that wound on 5 still wound on 5s, and the strength, most of the ones that are above 12 are like 14, and they still wound on 3s.
Yeah, Vindicator's like 14 with +1 to wound.
Yeah. What it was good for was it made Nurgling so hard to kill. It was really good. So
I do to wound.
Yeah, I think there's a teams build in there. I think the mistake I made was I took 3 Great and Clean ones, loads of Nurglings, and I took 3 Brigands, and then some Beasts and some stuff to play. And I thought I could kill things whilst being resilient as well. It still kills absolutely nothing.
So you reckon you should be on wide instead?
Yeah, I think there's still I think for people who want to do mono, I think there's definitely a mono Nurgle build in there, but it's like the same one that Plague Legion do. It's like it doesn't kill anything; it just stands there. And
which for me, it's not why I play Warhammer. Like I know people like it, and I know it's actually pretty good, but I don't think it's my kind of place. I don't think it's yours. Probably either, Will, is it? To stand.
No,
not. I know
not at all. But moving on from that particular game, that army has got some super strong rules, and I feel like I need a bloodthirster to probably. I did buy a Bellacore because I got so excited by it.
It's a very cool rule set. It's very cool. Maybe we'll look at that next week because it's quite cool. It's still relevant because we have Nurgle demons in there, so maybe that's something we can have a chat about. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah, we can loop back on that next week. Maybe we'll talk about the demons. Maybe even we'll try and write a Nurgle theme list or something.
That'd be cool.
But I'll come.
I was going to say, but if you want, we'll wrap it up there. Like you said, you've got things to do, and I've got things to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. I hope you had a nice little chat. Again, Tuesday streams are pretty much always a thing now. Dave will be back next week for the next one. I'll be doing another plague surgery towards the weekend, and I'm going to get a video up about deployment this week and certain things you can think about. And guess what? Special guest might feature a Beast of Nurgle because they're actually very important for where you deploy right now due to their scout ability. So a little bit of a foresight there. So also on an infection critical because we had a lot of Death Guard doing well. Chukanori's in the chat. Another fella posted before about him going 5 he went really well at the RWO as well. Lots of great results from Dakka this weekend, even in the face of dakka. So if you played Dakka this weekend, wherever you went 0-5 or 5-0 or 6-1 or 4 and bloody whatever you went, well done for taking the faction, and excellent performances all around. Nurgling shakes for you and Kirby Dog Faces for you. But yeah, I think that's all I've got for now, Mr. Will. Anything do you want to drop before you head off?
I was just going to mention about the so we do have a tournament called Element Games in Stockport near Manchester in the UK. So on the 12th and 13th of April, tickets are available by Element Games website. You can go on there and have a look. And if you do decide to play, you could buy them through our affiliate link, because in theory that does actually work. So that means we have an affiliate link. So if you shop on Element Games, any money you spend, we get a nice little kickback, especially with the codex coming. Helps us keep in there. And also, Dave isn't here, so I'll have to do it. So Aiden also is the coach at Vanguard Tactics, so if you're looking to get better at the game, Death Guard specifically, reach out to them. I don't know, is there anything that running specific at the moment, Aiden?
So their academy's just opened for recruitment, so if you're interested in joining the VT Academy, which is like a month, I think it might be a few months actually, long sort of training course where they go through all the basics of Warhammer, teaching you how to play the game competitively and enjoy it, all the sort of good tricks, and you get loads of resources you can download and keep forever. Check them out, consider signing up to their academy, that'd be real cool. If not, just check out the channel, they're our friends, they have battle reports, all sorts of good stuff like that. Now, Mr. Will, however, we've already just covered the affiliate link, haven't we? But if you didn't just want event tickets, but you also fancy some models, can you also use that affiliate link, Mr. Will?
You can, yeah. So anything you buy for Element Games, I say, use the tickets as an example, models, anything at all, just comes back. So it doesn't cost any more money. It's just a little bit for us. But mention as well about Baron of Dice. Obviously the first long-awaited batch of Death Guard dice.
All links to this are in the description, by the way, guys. Just be aware.
Yeah, sold out an incredible time, and it was hundreds of dice, multiple hundreds of dice. It wasn't.
Baron of Dice people were actually like, "Oh shit, these guys actually sell dice. These aren't just like a weird little YouTube channel that wanted to make some dice." They were actually surprised.
Yeah. So thank you to the people watching, listening. Streaming back later. We do it. If you did buy a pair, buy a set. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. While you're liking and subscribing, of course.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, because if you don't, I'll have to send Kirby around to your house and Natalie with her, and she gets very angry at people who don't like and subscribe.
I don't know. Natalie sounds like she come on the half and offer you half a cream, eh?
Maybe, but she has also got a giant Witcher sword right there, so she'll probably visit you with a sword and a cream.
Oh, okay.
It depends if you've clicked like and subscribe, which one you're going to get.
And then I think Sultai Games, go on. If I wanted to, help me remind and measure Contagion, is there anything, what does Sultai Games do, Aiden?
You can check out our friends at Sultai Games. They have a website now, their own website, and you can go there. You use promo code Nurgle to get percentage off your order, and they sell all sorts of gaming aids, objective markers, even full terrain sets. So if you use promo code Nurgle, there you'll get a bit of a discount, and we get a bit of a kickback as well. So go and check those guys out as well. But I think that's about everything for now.
We've got one more. If you want to look cool with the 11th cultist, or I think with so much stuff at this now. We also have a sort of a fashion store. I don't know how you call it, like a clothing store.
Yeah, like a clothes merch thing.
Yeah, we can buy just Disgusting Resilient t-shirts, caps, just stuff to link to the channel. Most of it's quite fun. Some of it's just a logo on a t-shirt. Dave normally reps it, and I have to say the hoodie looks really good. So more information down there. Best thing to do is just go and browse. But some of them are quite funny. The 11th cultist and stuff like that is a nice kickback to some silly things that have happened in various games and things with the different hosts. I won't go too deep into it, because one host in specific.
Let's not name that one host. It's not important anyway. Thank you, Notorious Nurgle, for the 5 months of membership as well, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you. Again, if you want to become a member, consider becoming a plague. Remember, you get to join the Discord, and as Oliver said, you get to join in all the discussion, and you get to come and look at the top quality memes that we shamelessly steal and repost, and all of the memes that are made at my expense, because I am an absolute bully victim in my own Discord server. But I enjoy it because I'm a sadist, which is quite funny though. Because if you want to make jokes at someone who's 5'7", then come and laugh at me. I can take it on the chin. It's not very high up my chin. It's like chest height on Will.
Oh, so you take it on the forehead.
Yes.
Aim for the chin.
But for now, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
We'll catch you all on the next episode. Stay right on. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches on the sickened skies. With boils and blight, they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name, disease will reign. Rot and ruin and pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight, they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name, disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Armored and filth with rusted blades, they laugh as cities wilt and fade. Where they tread, no life remains, just hollow corpses, plague remains. Beneath the helm, the cursed grin, for in death they shall begin. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Beneath the warp the souls are bound, to spread decay, to break the ground. Nurgle's gifts a putrid stain, a future where only disease remains. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. The rot's grasp, there's no escape. The death god seals your fate. In the void, where the warp winds howl, a fleet once noble, now destined to fall. Great wardens stir, betrayal takes shape, typhoons whispers, sealing their fate. Navigators lost to the shadowed lie, a fleet adrift beneath a darkened sky. The warp's cruel grasp, unyielding and tight, chaos awaits in the endless night. Whispers of power, a pestilent tide, Mortarian's pride, with nowhere to hide. The destroyer plague, a grim reward, Nurgle's laughter echoes aboard. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The death god transformed, never the same. Plague-born sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Mortarian stands, his sons by his side. Through agony storm, their oaths collide. Grandfather Father's hand, the pact is sealed. The Legion reborn, their fate revealed. Rise in the armor, rot in the soul. A Primarch remade, his heart grown cold. In terror shadow, their war drums beat. Pestilent warriors, no chance of retreat. Through breach and ruin, their banners fly. With death's embrace, they'll never die. The Lion's Gate, where hope was torn. Jagged ties, blade meets the Typhus herald, chaos born, Mortarian's wrath, the plague sworn. In the warp, their legacy thrives, eternal servants where corruption lies. Mortarians fall, Typhus ascends, the death god song, it never ends.